Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us tonight. Had to do things a little bit different, so our broadcast is not going to be live, but thank you for tuning in and watching anyways. We are at Knoxville Raceway tonight, normally the home of the sprint cars, but tonight we're going to turn the UMP Modifieds loose on this bad boy. These guys have been running her in. It looks like they're getting that high groove set up and ready to rock and roll. Watching the number 1 of Tab Herbert there. The other one was Logan Taggett. It says number 1 on the car, that's actually 6. He's from a throwback car. These guys are getting down and dirty. We're going to get ready for our first heat race of the night. Starting on that front row, we got Daniel Northcutt in the 310 of Scott Merrick. Row number 2, we got Michael Steele and Mr. Hunter Wellman. Shotgun on the field for this one is going to be that number 8 of Aaron Murphy. A little dark down on pit road this evening. Looks like we're waiting for the 310 of Merrick to join the field. We did just get done running the mini stock series here earlier in the day. Those guys put on a pretty good show. Michael Steele was able to hold off the hard charging 75 for the win tonight. Alright, these guys are going to roll off. 10 laps to go, no cautions in the heat race. Where you finish is where you're going to start the A main. So cars in the first heat will start on the inside row, cars in the second heat will start on the outside row. Alright, we're going to have one more lap before we go green flag racing action from Knoxville. You guys getting those cars worked in and ready for action. Followed by Hunter Wellman. Michael Steele down on the bottom, following the 777 of Daniel Northcutt. Merrick in that 310 is going to jump out to an early lead. Turning that high side, he's pushing the cushion. Here comes Hunter Wellman trying to follow the 310 through. He now drops down low. Oh, Michael Steele's going to get to the back of him as he gets rolled up trying to stay out of the 77. Battle for second place right now. Michael Steele looking for an opening. Hunter Wellman makes a pass on the 777 of Northcutt. He's going to take second place away. Gets up on that berm. He's going to slide up the track. Michael Steele on that high side. In the meantime, the 310 of Merrick is running away with this one. We got 7 laps to go in the heat race. Merrick in first, Wellman in second. Daniel Northcutt holding on to third, but he's got a back bumper over Michael Steele. Steele's got Murphy all over his back bumper. Up in front of him. Michael's going to try going down low. Try 3 and 4. See if he can keep some momentum coming off. No, he's a slide up. Try to get more. Touch just a little bit. Northcutt's going to come around. Michael's still going to take over third after a little bit of contact with the 777 of Northcutt. Wellman's still in second. Scott Merrick commanding the lead. That 310 is looking pretty stout. He's had some really strong runs in the last couple weeks. Merrick's going to hold on for the lead. Hunter Wellman is going to come in second. Aaron Murphy is going to be in third. Heat race number 2 is on deck. On the front row, Tab Abear, Mr. Devin Smith. Inside of row number 2, we got David Sanford and Colton Sapansky. Colton driving that new black and gold 77, beautiful looking car. And then Mr. Logan Tackett is going to be riding shotgun on the field, rolling off in 5th. Saw some pretty good battles, and we're going to see if we can continue on here in the second heat. I do want to thank everybody for taking the time out and watching our video tonight. Weren't able to go live, but we will upload this as soon as the race is over, and you'll be able to watch it at your leisure. Alright, we're going to be going green, coming out of turn number 4, Tab Abear, Devin Smith on the front row.
Pretty exciting. On first, created all that, but great to see the driver. Created some of them were already
Tab Abear jumps out to an early lead, but here comes that triple on the 77. On the high side. Sanford down low. Colton gets a great run coming out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Powered by on the high side. Trying to reel in that number 1. Pardon me, folks. Love the chrome on that 77 machine. Colton cars are always impressive. CC Graphics graphs, which is Colton Spansky. He has caught that number 1 of Tab Abear. We'll see if he's got anything for him. Colton right down against that Murphy. And a good run coming out of the turn 4. Down the front straightaway. I don't know who had that line. Sapansky's got the lead now. Logan Tackett holding on to third. Smith back to 4th. Amy Sanford going all the way back to 5th. And with that 30 car is pretty quick. Looks like he's having a hard time getting a handle on this track here tonight. Getting all kinds of squirrely eggs into that corner. Back up front, 4 laps to go for the 77 of Colton Sapansky. Colton looking nice and smooth. Right down at that bottom, he is hooked up. Now Abear's sliding her up the track. Fastest lap of the night so far, 19:21 by Colton Sapansky. Brought to you by the One to Go Show. Check them out on YouTube and Facebook. Ryan A.L. and buddies of his talking about all things with soda. Still throwing a little bit of NASCAR every once in a while. Come check them out. You guys got some opinions of local racing, and that's good to hear. The 77 of Colton Sapansky holds off Abear and Tackett. Alright, we will have a brief intermission before we get to our A main. So while we're waiting, please use the facilities. Head on down and talk to Randy in the Chicken Shack. And if you are in northern Minnesota this weekend, check out the car show at Roth RV. We're going to have a race car here. We're going to have a test and tune session out of Bemidji Speedway, where you can meet the real Randy and the home of the Chicken Shack Nationals. Ladies and gentlemen, we are getting ready to go green flag racing for our A main. We got 50 laps. These guys are going to have to pace themselves and see what they can do.
Alright, well, I changed my deal to max frame rate, so that works.
Alright, starting on that front row,
Come on, Hunter.
Scott Merrick and Colton Sapansky. Row number 2, we got Hunter Wellman and Tab Abear. Row number 3, Aaron Murphy and Logan Tackett. Row number 4 is going to be Daniel Northcutt and Mr. Devin Smith. Row number 5 will be Michael Steele and David Sanford, shotgun on the field tonight. Alright, we're going to go green next time by. We're going green coming out of turn number 4. We do have to wait for the flagman to throw the flag on the first one. After that, we will be on the leader. Green flag is in the air. Sabansky and Merrick side by side down into turn number 1. Wellman and Abear. Colton Sabansky, power move down the back straightaway. He's going to clear the 310. Abear's going to slide into third. We're battling side by side for fourth between Hunter Wellman and Tab Abear. It looks like Devin Smith and Aaron Murphy got into each other, but no caution was called on that one. We do let iRacing control the cautions here, so iRacing doesn't throw it. We let him race it out. So back up front, we got Colton Sapansky. Scott Merrick now closing up to the back bumper. Tab Abear has moved up to third. We'll see if he's able to close in. Logan Tackett in 6th. Hunter Wellman in 5th. David Sanford in 5th. Hunter Wellman in 6th. Michael Steele in 7th, working his way up. Michael Steele did have to take a end of one's fine penalty after the contact between him and the 77 in the heat race. Now he's looking for a gap to get around the 64 and the 30. He's got the inside groove on the 64. Under was way up high. He didn't get up into the fence. Trying to power back. Michael's going to slide up the car and shut the door. 64 is going to try to do a crossover move going into the next corner. He's going to slide the 5 car. He's going to clear him. Now Michael's trying to reach it, but the track is getting very slick out there. Big low track prep coming into this one. Great battle between the 5 and the 64. Now they're catching the 30 and the 1. Sorry, the 6 of Logan Tackett. Tackett and David Sanford battling pretty hard, swapping positions back and forth. David did have some issues in the heat race, but looks like he's got those figured out. Back up front, Merrick all over the back bumper of Colton Sapansky. Colton keeping tight to that bottom groove. Puts his tire right up on the berm. on the high side, maybe for the 310. He's got a fender to the outside as they go down the straightaway. He had him at the line, at least for a brief second. Colton pinching that thing down low. Merrick's going to take the lead on lap 11. Stretching out the lead just a little bit now. Michael Steele has worked his way up to fourth. Tacking it up into the wall. Michael Steele trying to reel in. Tab Abear in fourth. Needs a caution to bunch this field back up. Old Spansky losing ground. As Scott Merrick is now going to get into some lap traffic of Devin Smith. Devin stays down low, lets the 310 hook on by on the high side. By the 310. Colton Sabansky running pretty solid in second right now. Tab Abear in third. Let's jump on board with Michael Steele currently running in fourth. And Michael working that throttle through the corner. Closing in on the lap car, Devin Smith as we approach the halfway mark tonight. Devin Smith had some problems early on, got together with somebody, got some damage done to the front end of that number 95 machine. And currently one lap down, running 8th, trying to hold on. Every position counts for points. Jump on board with the 77 machine of Colton Sabansky. He's got 310 barely behind the mud splatters. Colton way down low, way off the throttle. Colton about 1 second behind Merrick now. Bump that berm, that's going to cost him some time. Had to get way off the throttle. separates our leaders. Michael Steele losing ground to that third place. We're holding on to a pretty solid fourth right now. Last lap, Sapansky has started to close that gap. He has gained 0.3 of a second now. Looking to make a charge. Might have little found something. Maybe he saved those tires, let them cool down just a little bit. We got 28 laps in the books. Merrick way up high against the wall. Sapansky's going to close in a ton that lap. Colton Diggy, he's going to try to pressure him down low. They're going to be close to side by side as they exit the turn. Colton's throwing it down in there on that low side. Merrick up there against the wall, pushing it as high as he can. Oh, he gets into the wall. The leaders almost touch. Sapansky might have the advantage. He's going to slide up in front of the 310 coming out of the corner. Merrick now right on the back bumper of that 77 machine. Tab Hebert still running in third. He's able to see him, but he hasn't reeled him in at all. Michael Steele running in fourth. 4 seconds behind third place car. He is up there right on the lip. Hunter Wellman holding on to P number 5. Oh, that's a hard slide right there. Back up front, Colton Sapansky starting to gain a little bit of advantage over that 310 of Merrick. Merrick now running all over the track trying to get some speed back into that 310 car. Colton gaining a couple more seconds, spreading that gap up just a little bit more. Coming to the stripe this time by, we're going to have 35 laps down, 15 to go. Don't want to jinx this, but we went green so far. Colton's going to catch up on some more lap cars here. Going to be catching Logan Tackett and Daniel Northcott. Right on the back bumper of those lap cars. They're going to stay up high. Colton's going to go down low. Makes quick work of the lap cars. Scott Merrick going to do the same thing. Brushes that outside wall. Colton Sapansky, 10 laps to go, has a comfortable lead, 1.6 seconds over Scott Merrick. Tab Hebert now trying to work his way around the lap cars as they are battling for position. They're both going to get up around the wall as Hebert goes down low on the bottom side to get around them. Michael Steele holding on to fourth. Northcott and Aber battling it hard right now for that 6th spot. Oh, the one car spins it out. Is he going to get back fired before we get a caution? He is. No caution. Good job. Up front, Colton Sapansky. 8 laps to go. 1.8 second lead over Aber. Sorry, over Merrick. Tab Aber's in 3rd. Michael Steele holding on to 4th. Hunter Wellman in 5th. Hunter in danger of going a lap down. He's got Devin Smith right behind him, who's already a lap down. Pardon me. 6 laps to go for Colton Sapansky in that 77 machine. Smith pushes hard. Looks like he's going to catch the wall on that outside line. As Colton Sapansky goes around him. Four laps to go for Colton Sapansky in that 77 machine. Moving as far as the leaderboard goes. Colton moved up 1 spot. Scott Merrick dropped 1. Tab Aber up 1 spot. Michael Steele, one of the biggest movers. He's up 3 spots. Hunter Wellman has dropped 2. Daniel Northcutt up 3. Logan Tackett dropped 1. Devin Smith's right where he started. David Samford is down up 1 position, and Aaron Murphy is down 5. White flag is in the air for that 77 machine. Our white flag lap brought to you by the One to Go Show. Check them out on Facebook and YouTube. Coming out of turn number 4, it's going to be Colton Sapansky. Scott Merrick in 2nd. Tab Aber in 3rd. Michael Steele in 4th. Looks like the 77 is trying to jump over the scales here.
Hey, check.
All right, finishing 3rd tonight, we got that number 1 machine, Tab Aber.
Hey, good evening. How's it going?
Doing pretty good, but You had a pretty fast rocket, but man, Colton and Scott were gone.
Yeah, it really all boils down to how much you save your tires. I mean, at the beginning, I was staying with them. I was just trying to hang back a little bit, save as much tires as I could, and then I believe Colton got around Scott, and I kind of started trying to catch him a little bit, and just burning up my tires more and more, and finally got to the point where Colton was gone, and I was hoping to get Scott, but I kept getting antsy and making a couple small mistakes and couldn't make it happen in the end, but I'll settle for a third.
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. You're bringing the car home clean tonight. That's really all that matters. Good points night for you.
Absolutely. Like I've said several times before, in order to finish good, you got to finish the race first.
Exactly. I would have liked to have seen maybe a late race caution with 15 to go, bunch you guys back up, see what you guys could have done. But I like the way it played out. You guys put on a really good show. Everybody raced fairly clean. I think I saw one car go around, but he got it backfired again, so no caution came out.
Yeah, it was definitely a different race from what I'm used to. Normally, there's a few cautions thrown in there, but it was interesting. It was fun to see how you had to manage tires compared to what's normally what you're dealing with the cautions. You're able to kind of group back up, but we was able to hold on to third through the whole thing.
Well, congratulations, bud, and we hope to see you back on the podium next week. Who do you want to give a shout out to tonight?
I appreciate it. I got a shout out Cajun Hose and Fittings, BNC Enterprises of Ascension, Fired Woodcraft, Graphics King, and obviously Colt Sapansky with CZ Graphics, and all the guys back at the shop.
All right, well, thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you back in action next week.
Thanks.
All right, coming home in second, leading a good chunk of this one tonight, that 310 of Mr. Scott Merrick.
Yes, sir.
So, was it a tire issue? Did you just burn up your stuff more than Colton did?
I'm gonna say it's definitely a tire issue. He was driving the bottom way better than me, but it was a tire issue too. Second he got past me, I wasn't really trying to push. I was just running my normal race. I wasn't trying to push, but I wasn't trying to be like trying to save fully. And he got past me, and I started pushing, and it said, "Take care of your tires." I was like, flap, whatever, like what? And then coming out of 4 on the white flag, I blew the right rear.
Oh, you did? Holy cow!
I haven't done that since the last money race I did, which was a 100 lapper. So it was different.
Well, you were definitely quick in the early stages. That car's pretty quick every week, though.
Yep. Like to get my practice laps in.
Oh, for sure. Well, this will definitely keep you up there in the points and looking good for the rest of the season. We're just about halfway through this one. Congratulations on finishing second. Who do you want to give a shout out to before I cut you loose?
Michael Steely for the wrap. Jose Speed Shop for any help that I get. My parents for letting me race, and y'all for putting this up.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you very much, and we hope to see you back on the podium next week battling it out with Colton and Tab.
Yes, sir.
Rebounding after a bad week last week, we got that 77 of Mr. Colton Sapansky.
Yes, sir.
Well, I heard from the 310 on the white flag lap, he blew his right rear tire.
Yeah, I noticed after he got out front there a little ways, when I started reeling back in, I could tell he was kicking the rear end of the car out. So, and he was just moving different lanes trying to find some. So I kind of had a feeling he burned his stuff up too quick. And I told Tab, him and I were in a chat together. I told him, I said, I told him, I said, if the 310 and I get way out front, I told him, I said, don't try to catch with us. Keep your, save your tires and be there at the end, because I know I got a feeling I'll be racing them pretty hard, and so I did a good job of managing my tires. I mean, 33% on a 50 lapper slick track because I didn't. If we had to run the top of the middle, I wouldn't have be in victory lane tonight. I was a bottom feeder for damn sure tonight.
Well, it looked like
But
you were really the only one that could make that bottom groove work the way you did.
throttle control, like I tell all my buddies, throttle control. I mean, I have a hell of a time with it in real life, but on iRacing, I have a good time with it. But no, I was just trying to. I don't know why, but when track states like this where the bottom's completely slicked off and there's a bunch of grip on top, I don't know how I can make the bottom work, but I do. But I was basically trying to drive it like a sprint car where you barely move the steering wheel and just run it with the throttle. And so until the very end when the tires are completely gone, that's my steering wheel was almost straight the whole way around. I was just running the throttle and the brake good enough to where I can get the car pointed. But no, definitely a huge rebound from last week. Last week was a nightmare. I'm glad we have guys like David who he's really cool about it. He no hard feelings. He understands and we're good buddies now. So I really appreciate that. Kudos to him. I have a lot more respect for him as well. Just really surprised of how this turned out. I did not expect to have a 3-second lead after being behind a second and a half by halfway. So don't know how it happened. Don't know how I do it, but it happened. I did it, and yeah. Woo, dirt car.
Yeah, it was nice seeing a green flag run for the whole race too.
Not gonna lie to you, I'm sweating. By lap 45, sweat was dripping down my face. I had to wipe my forehead real quick. No, it was phenomenal. 50 lap green to checkered. I mean, you go anywhere else in iRacing, you ain't gonna find a 50 lapper modified, Knoxville feature that goes green to checkered. So, yeah, there's only 10 of us, and one of us had to leave, and one of them had to leave, and David had connection issues, unfortunately. But so 8 cars. I mean, heat race, but still pretty good turnout. I mean, wish we could get more cars. Like I say every time I'm in an interview, you guys need more cars. You guys deserve more attention, which you get. But no, it's always fun to come out and run when I can. It's been busy with real life racing here recently, and finally got a night where nothing's going on, and off for the next 2 weeks. One for work, the other for the holidays. So, yeah, I figured we hop on and just try to have some fun and see if I remember how to drive a race car.
Well, congratulations on parking that thing in victory lane. It's always fun to see you guys put on a great show.
Oh yeah, dude. Appreciate you hosting the league and everything. Always fun coming out.
All right, man. Well, you have a wonderful night, and we will catch you back soon.
Yes, sir. We'll try to see you next week.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, thank you for watching this one. We are going to be done for the night. We went green to checkered. These guys put on a great show, battling side by side for many laps. Colton Spansky's going to bring home the win. Scott Merrick in second. Tab Abear in third. Michael Steele coming from the back all the way up to fourth. Great job, Mr. Steele. Thank you very much, and you guys have a wonderful night.